Right, Exam Alert V2MGO. I think I am the only lecturer in the world who have summarized this V2MGO for you guys. It has been tested twice in SBL exams and tested many times in the previous P3 exams. Let's check what are those verbs. All right, before we talk about that, check the questions first. The questions from ACCA SBL specimen paper number 2 is called real complaint. You see, during the questions, they show you their missions, they show you their visions, right? But there's no summary of that. So now that's the reason you have to study that. Let's check the first one. V. V stands for vision. Vision, guys. What is a vision? All right. In simple English, I will not be touching the complete definition. That would be too long for you. You don't have to memorize that. You have to be able to give a very short definition. That's enough. What is a vision? In simple English, vision is something in the future, something you want to achieve, but it's difficult to achieve. What do we use? Desired. Yes. So vision is something future, something desired, something that we want to be. In simple English, that's a future desired state. This is called a vision. Consider one example, Sonny. Guys, what is the vision of Sonny? The vision of Sonny has only 3 words. That's road to zero. Road to zero. Something missing. Road to zero what? Zero emission. But Sonny replaced that emission with a footprint. Right. So in your exam, if the examiner asks you to give them a vision of an organization, you try to make it simple. 3, 4, or 5 words, they'll be enough. And try to use the Sonny way, put something missing, right? Don't say the complete sentence, just say something like that. What is the vision of the organization? Road to zero. We try to reduce our carbon dioxide before the 2050 into the minimum amount. You know, during that, there's some ideas you have to be familiar with. We call them a carbon neutral. What is a carbon neutral? Actually, the carbon neutral is the idea behind Sonny's vision. If you do not understand the carbon neutral, you will not be able to explain the meaning of the road to zero. Road to zero is based on carbon neutral. Every country, even the company has their plan to reduce the carbon dioxide, that means the carbon emission to the world. As you know that the global warming and maybe the El Nino, these are something that we have to hand in hand and to avoid that in your future. There's something about the human being. So guys, the definition of a carbon neutral is right here. Let's read together. Carbon neutral refers to achieving net zero carbon dioxide emissions. This can be done by the keyword is balancing emissions of carbon dioxide with its removal, often through carbon offsetting activities, such as planting trees, such as the product redesign, the process re-engineering. So these are 3 things that we can use to reduce the carbon emission. By eliminating emissions from the society, the transition to the post-carbon economy. So the entire idea behind it, we call them a carbon neutral. In simple English, carbon neutral means the carbon dioxide you released equals to the carbon dioxide activities we absorb. All right, guys. So this is something behind it. And very good. Cool. Let's check the second company. It's called Samsung. Guys, what is Samsung's vision? Simple. We call them inspire the world, and create the future. See, this is something simple And this is something in the future, something you want to achieve, but which is very difficult to achieve that. So in your exam, be able to give a vision like that. Simple. Inspire the world, create the future. I don't know how Samsung create the future, but I know Samsung, how are they going to inspire the world because of their Galaxy Note 7. Remember that, guys? Yeah, this is a joke, but it's true. It's a crucial joke. The Samsung Galaxy is famous for its self-explosion because of the battery, right? Guys, remember that a couple of years ago. So this is how Samsung inspired the world. It's a joke. All right, guys, carry on. After that, value. What is a value? In simple English, value is the way the business is carried out. The way the business is carried out. If we have a shared value between the two companies, even your suppliers or the customers, we start making the business together. If we do not share the same value, we don't want to do business together. Do you agree? Yes. So that's the reason that we have to focus on the value. So let's consider the value of Google. As you know, there are 3 very famous values in the world. What are the 3? First one, you can be serious without a suit. You can be serious without a suit. That means in Google, you don't have to wear the suit like what I do every day. You know, this is their culture. So the first value is a casual way of working, a flexible working environment, and everybody care each other and everybody don't care about the superficial things. You know, this is something interesting in the Google. I visited Google in London a couple of years ago, about 3 years ago. They were like that. Yeah, it's a very interesting company. It's, they try to focus on the innovation, and it's a leading company in innovation. And they do not focus on something superficial like wearing something like a suit to show your professionalism. They don't have to. This is not an audit firm. This is not consulting firms. You know, this is Google. It's an innovative company. All right. The first value is that it's a casual. Do you like it, guys? Second one is fast is better than slow. Normally, fast is better than slow refers to their way to launch their product. Is the speed of launching their product is faster than usual, than competitors. But now, the fast is better than slow has extended the meaning into everything that Google is pursuing. For example, like this one. This is something very interesting devices. When I visited Google London, they have a device like that. In US, even the other cities, they all have a gadget like that. What is this? It's a quick way for employees to get to the canteen. Google did a research a couple of years ago. What time or when is the most happiest time for employee during the working? All the answers is about having a good food or taking a break, coffee break, tea break, or even the way that they go to the canteen to have their dinners or their lunch, whatever. So, but there's something very important things is Google summarized the research result into one sentence. That means, in simple English, if you want to maximize the happiness index of our employee, it's not about to focus on the food itself, but is to focus on the way they go to the canteen. Ladies and gentlemen, you think about yourself. If you're on a business trip, right? After the business trip, you come back to your home, Hong Kong or mainland China or whatever, which cities. After you arrived, your happiness index will be dropped sharply. Do you agree? Yes. But the time when you are on the way back home is the most happiest time. Do you agree? Do you understand what I'm trying to say? So the way or the approach or the time that you are on something is the happiest time. But after you got it, the happiest index will be dropped sharply. So Google will not focus on the food. They focus on the approach, the way, and the time that you start from leaving your office to the canteen. So they have a gadget, they have a device like that to maximize this happiness index. And as to their employees' satisfactory. All right, guys, here we go. This is something interesting. After that, third one, don't be evil. You know, every individual search engine companies has the ability to spy on you behind the internet. So Google has a third value that we do not want to spy on you. We do not sell the customer's secret data. We are very trustworthy companies that the customers could believe in us. So don't be evil means we do not sell data. We do not spy on you. We have the full respect to your personal confidential data. That's it. All right, guys. So these are the three basic Google values as an example. But the bad news is Google has removed the third value clause from its code of conduct. I don't know why. Perhaps you could do some research of that. Why they removed the don't be evil? We don't know. This is something interesting. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, let's have a summary of the value. Value is something showing that the way you do the business, and in company we have things called a value statement. The definition of a value statement is right here. It isn't some kind of a jargon speaking for what we think matters. It defines the heart of your organizations. It's a statement of what your company is, what your company stands for, what everyone can expect from your company. Okay, guys? So this is something you are about to write down during your exams. Memorize it. I have already summarized your answers for examinations. Memorize it. All right, guys? Interesting. Here we go. So let's have some examples of the value. Value is a very big word, and we have lots of examples of that. First example, someone who did the right thing. Who is that? Fisher and Price. I believe everybody here had a very good childish time, and we play the Fisher and Price toys all the way along, right? So Fisher and Price, this is the 500 companies, 500 Fortune companies, and they have a very, very strong value that whenever the product has something wrong, even before it reviews, it will have a global callback. Global callback. Of course, the expenses or the cost will be extremely high, but their prices will not drop sharply. This is something that drives them until today. So, I remember that there are basically two recall, global recall by Fisher and Price. The latest one is the 2007, published 2007, is the Fisher and Price Dora the Explorer in Disneyland, the Sesame Street. I believe everybody know that. They have something wrong with that. It's a possible hazard due to the toys being coated in the lead-based paint. So they could have a global retreat or the global callback. This is the latest one. But before that, I believe in something happened in 1995 or 1997. We have a special machine or a robot have a laser gun. There's a possibility that the laser gun will be taken out by the infant around 1 to 3 years ago. So if the infant is around 1 to 3 years ago, their age, about that age, there's a possibility that they take that laser gun out and swallow them, gotta choke. You know, there's only one possibility. Nothing happened. No any incident happened. But that possibility drove Fisher and Price to have a global callback. And after that, their price has not dropped sharply. It's expensive, but their price has not dropped sharply. So in simple English, ladies and gentlemen, we can see that a great value drives the way that you do the business. And a better corporate social responsibility lasts long, right? Okay, so in your exam, in simple English, you need to persuade the company to sustain their values, to believe in their values, and not change the way that the company is doing, right? This is it. And let's check another example. Someone who did the wrong thing. Who is that? Volkswagen emission scandal. Volkswagen emission scandal happened in September 2015. The United States Environmental Protection Agency, called EPA, issued a notice of the violation of the Clean Air Act to German automaker Volkswagen Group. And the agency had found that Volkswagen has intentionally programmed their turbo charged direct injection called TDI diesel engine to activate their emissions controls only during laboratory testing, which caused the vehicle NOx output to meet the US standard. This is something very canny. This is something so canny, right? To meet US standards during the regulatory testing. So, but you meet up to 40 times above the normal levels of the NOx in the real world driving. So, Volkswagen deployed that software or programs into their cars to avoid the US testing. This is something very gimmick. This is something very, very unethical. So, guys, it cost them about 11 million cars worldwide and 500,000 in the United States. And the United States has fined them seriously. And until today, I don't think they have paid their payment. I don't think, but they learned their lessons. But I don't think they have finished their payment until now. So this is Volkswagen emission scandal. And what is the fundamental problem of that? During exam, if you have questions like that, one more time, in your exam, if we have questions like this, the way that you challenge the company is supposed to be focusing on the way they do the business. What is that? Value. Something wrong with their fundamental purpose. Something wrong with their approach to the business. We call them a value. So if we have a value, it should now be changed. After it changed, it's not your core value anymore. Guys, all right? This is it. And there's another example, the final example. This company will make a big difference by having the right value, or the big profit by having the right value. The name for that company is called Starbucks. Starbucks is famous for their higher prices and its good taste. But the funny thing is, the Starbucks has been charged by the China FDA, Food and Drug Administration, about during the year of 2015 for higher prices. They sue them. They sue them in mainland China for manipulating of the prices. In simple English, the prices in mainland China is about 10% or 20% higher than the US and higher than the UK or even the other places in the world relatively. So when, this is something very funny. When the FDA challenged Starbucks, why your product is getting higher, the price is rising higher and higher. Starbucks, exactly him, he told FDA that because we have the right value. And then the FDA got very confused. Why you have the right value, then that one give you the rights to raise up the prices in China? They told FDA that because we believe that every individual Chinese consumers are having a good intention to helping our coffee bean makers in the world. So the higher prices we charge from our customers in China has been transformed to give to those coffee bean makers globally. We get the money from Chinese customers and pay higher prices of raw materials of coffee bean to those makers globally. But if you ask the mainland Chinese consumers about that, I believe that nobody knows that. Nobody knows that. So Starbucks tried to use their donations to occupy that high moral ground. But when the FDA challenged them, they used the high moral ground or the high value as a weapon to raise up the price. There's a basic logic behind it. You have to know that. It's something interesting. So when the FDA asked them, in simple English, you mean you charge higher prices for Chinese consumers and you use that higher profit to compensate for these coffee bean makers globally, is it right? Starbucks said, yes, we do that. We call them a donation. Guys, everybody right here, we know that the fundamental purpose for the donation is for tax purposes. So Starbucks is so canny, very, very smart company. But after that, FDA China mainland made a very terrible mistakes. What mistake is that? FDA asked Starbucks, why not to support the farmers in China? We have the farmers in China too. You support the farmers globally, but why not China? And then Starbucks is so canny. They use another occupation of the high moral grounds way to win the win back. You know, what did they say? They said, we don't have any geographical discriminations, don't you? You see, that's the beauty of the language, guys. When FDA challenged why not to support Chinese farmer, and then they said, why not to support the globally? Don't you have a geographical discriminations in the world? So, secondly, occupy the high moral ground. This is something very, very mature, ladies and gentlemen. So in the real life or in your exams, as well as your exam, how are we going to occupy the high moral ground? By having a right value is the way that we are about to take the exam. So this is something you need to think deeply. Right, guys? So to summarize, better value, better profit. That's it. Right, guys, after vision, value, the third important verb in your SBL is called mission. What is this word? Mission. In simple English, this is your fundamental purpose for an organization to exist. Fundamental purpose. Remember? V2MGO. So the third vocabulary of strategy is to achieve the stakeholders' expectation and the purposes. So this is something the purposes that are about. So mission, normally in the real company, we have a statement called mission statement. And that statement shows the fundamental purpose of the organization. Let's check the real life example, Alibaba and the MIT. Alibaba has a very short mission. The group mission is to make it easy to do business anywhere. And how about the MIT? MIT is to advance in knowledge and educate students in science, technology, and other areas of scholarship that will best serve the nation and the world for the 21st century. And the world for the 21st century. These two missions are totally different. Actually, the Alibaba's mission is very broad. It's not very mission enough. But the mission of MIT is something very, very narrow, very fundamental. This could be the way that they are contributing positively to their lives. So, ladies and gentlemen, which one is better? You tell me, right? But in your exam, you need to know that how are we going to write a mission for the organization? I have summarized the 6 elements for you. Memorize that. The 6 elements of a mission statement are as follows. The first one, you have to make sure the mission statement is very formal. The language must be formal. How are we going to use a formal language? How are we going to make a formal sentence? Try to use this way. Use your be word plus past participle. This is the English. Be word plus past participle to complete a formal sentence. All right. And the second one is published within the company. Published within. That means the mission statement is some document that's supposed to be delivered from the top layer to, down to the operational level through the middle line management. So mission statement is supposed to be published within the company, not about to publish outside your company. Right? Something for the company's inside to read. And the third one is to reflect core value. Mission statement must reflect the core value of your company. That means the value that has never been changed. And the fourth one is about to support our strategy. Support our business strategy. Fifth one will be concerns both for internal and external stakeholders. And the sixth one, the final one, will be with some risk awareness. Guys, these are something very fundamental. Memorize it. So during examinations, if you want to challenge their mission statement, these are the 6 areas of challenging. So coming back to the Alibaba and MIT, which one is better? Of course, MIT is better. Let's read together one more time. What is the mission of MIT is to advance the knowledge and educate students in science. This is their fundamental purpose. This is their strategy. This is the value, right? Technology and other areas of scholarship that will best serve the nation. That means the United States first, and then the world. United States, US first, and then the world. For the 21st century, they give them a limit, the time elapse. So this is something fundamental, and we call them a mission statement. So in your exam, let's check, guys. The question called machine shop. We have a mission statement right here. The mission statement in this exam is incomplete. Let's read together. Our mission is empowering homemakers to do it themselves. This is not a mission. This is definitely not a mission. What is it? This is merely a slogan, ladies and gentlemen. This is a slogan. So if you're in your exam, if you want to challenge, you challenge that way. And tell the examiners, how are we going to make a mission statement for the organization? There are 6 different elements. What are the 6? First, must be formal. Let's read it together. First, must be formal. Second, published within. Reflect your core values, support your strategy, concerns both internal and external stakeholders, and together with some risk awareness. These are the bullets that you are about to challenge the questions. All right, guys, coming back. And congratulations, mission completely finished. And let's talk about the goal and objective. This is something easy. But some students got confused, especially the Asian student. What is the goal? What is the objective? If you check the dictionary, these are aims, but different aims. All right? Goal and objective. Which one is general aim? Which one is a specific aim? Which one? Goal is a general aim. And objective is something specific aim. And their natures are different too. Goal has the nature of qualitative nature. And objective has a quantitative nature. So, let me give you one quiz, guys. And you're going to tell me which one is which one. Is that a goal or the objective? Let's check. Our company is about to raise up our market share dramatically next year. What is that? Is that a goal or objective? It's a goal. It's not specific. It's not a quantitative nature. But if you want to change that sentence into the objective, there will be something like, our company is about to achieve our market share up to 30% in the year of 2025, right? 25. So this is something specific. They give them time, they give them percentage. So, ladies and gentlemen, how are we going to be specific? Quantitative nature is very important. Days, exact time, percentage, or even the numbers are objectives. So the best example will be the KPI. KPI or objectives, these are not goal. So in our exam, we test the British are very, very specific in that point. In your exam, if you use the wrong vocabularies, they don't give you enough marks. Ladies and gentlemen, congratulations. We have completely finished the first recap knowledge called V2MGO. That one is by myself, and it's a gift for you to handle your examinations. It happens 2 times in SBL exam. Let's have a quick revision. What are these definition of a strategy? How are we going to give a definition? Find out the most relevant verb. So the 3 most important words for the strategy is determine the long-term direction of the organization, allocate the limited resources for your organization, and achieve the stakeholders' expectation and the purposes. Stakeholders can be analyzed by using the Mandel matrix, which what we talk about next time, perhaps. But expectation and the purposes can be examined by using the model called V2MGO. Who invented that model? Me. So guys, let's review that together one more time. What is a vision? 3 vocabularies. Future, desired state. Something you want to do that in the future, but not now. But I want to do it. It's difficult, but I still want to do it. So future, desired state. Remember the example of the Sony and Samsung. After that, what is a value? 1 sentence. The way the business is carried out. It shows the way, the approach that we do the business. Some business we do, some business we don't do. For example, like child labor, some business related to the sweatshop, we don't do that. So this is the way that we do the business, is our value. The value must be core. The value must not be changed, must not be challenged. It will sustain the entire company, and it will give your company's competitive advantage as well. And this is something to help your company achieve a long-term goal. All right? So we have a Google example, 3 values of Google. After that, what is a mission? Fundamental purpose for the organization to exist. We have 6 elements of that. What are the 6? The mission statement must be formal. Mission statement must be published within your own company. It's not to outside. It's not for outsiders. It's for your insiders to read. And reflect your core values. Support your company corporate strategies. Concerns both for internal and external stakeholders, together with some risk awareness. These are the fundamental 6 elements of a mission statement. And after that, we talk about the goal and objectives. The difference between that one is general, the other one is specific, one is qualitative in nature, the other one is quantitative in nature. All right, guys, quantitative in terms of what? In terms of the days, the exact times, percentage, or even the numbers. All right, guys, so customer complaint, for example, we have about 5% above our normal customer complaints is a objective that we do not want to achieve. We try to achieve our customer complaints, our KPIs by 5% less than usual. All right, guys, that's it. Congratulations. We have completely finished the V2MG. Now is our question time. Let's take a look at the first question, guys. This question, well, we will not be touching that because this is SBL question. It's very long. It's going to take about hours to talk about it. During these short sessions, I will not give you that pressure. I will show you simple questions. It's from the previously P3, it's business analysis paper, but it's a very good question, help you to ease in. You have to know that way in your basic questions before handling the SBL questions. So in these questions, talk about the V2MG. There's another one, talk about the V2MGs as well. And now let's talk about the old P3 questions now together. Please, are you ready? Here we go.